The entertainment world is once again in mourning after the release of devastating 911 audio connected to the final moments of a beloved star from The Wire. The chilling call has left fans shaken, offering an emotional and deeply human glimpse into the final hours of a performer whose work forever changed television. The actor at the center of this tragedy is none other than Lance Reddick, the commanding presence who portrayed the stoic and principled Cedric Daniels on the groundbreaking HBO series The Wire. For many, Reddick wasn't just an actor, he was a symbol of quiet strength, discipline, and integrity. Now, as the 911 recording surfaces publicly, fans are reliving the shock of his sudden passing in a way that feels painfully intimate. A call no one ever wants to make. The 911 audio reportedly captures the frantic tone of a loved one discovering Reddick unresponsive at his home. The voice on the line sounds distressed yet determined, trying to stay composed while explaining the situation to the dispatcher. "I think something is wrong, he's not breathing." Those few words, simple yet devastating, are enough to send chills down anyone's spine. The dispatcher's calm instructions, checking for signs of breathing, attempting to assess responsiveness, highlight the stark contrast between emergency protocol and the emotional storm unfolding inside the home. The recording reportedly lasts only a few minutes, but those minutes feel endless. Listeners describe the call as raw, unfiltered, and heartbreakingly real. A sudden loss that shook Hollywood. When news first broke of Reddick's passing in March 2023, it stunned the industry. At just 60 years old, he was actively working and deeply engaged in multiple projects. His death was later attributed to natural causes, including heart disease. At the time, tributes poured in from every corner of Hollywood. His co-stars from The Wire expressed profound grief. Wendell Pierce called him a man of great strength and grace. Idris Elba, who starred alongside Reddick in the series, described him as a true gentleman, a brother, and an inspiration. The pain felt across the cast reflected what audiences already knew: Reddick was respected not only for his talent but for his character. The legacy of Cedric Daniels. On The Wire, Reddick's portrayal of Cedric Daniels was nothing short of masterful. In a show widely regarded as one of the greatest television dramas ever created, his performance stood tall among giants. Created by David Simon, The Wire examined systemic corruption in Baltimore, from law enforcement to politics, schools, and the media. Daniels, as a rising police commander navigating ethical landmines, represented the possibility of integrity within a deeply flawed institution. Reddick's quiet intensity gave the character gravity. He didn't need flashy monologues or dramatic outbursts. A look, a pause, a measured response, these were his tools. Fans often recall scenes where Daniels held his composure under pressure, embodying leadership even as chaos swirled around him. That performance has aged remarkably well, with new generations discovering the show through streaming platforms. Beyond The Wire, a career of authority and elegance. While many will forever associate Reddick with Cedric Daniels, his career stretched far beyond Baltimore's fictional streets. He delivered memorable performances in the John Wick franchise, starring alongside Keanu Reeves. His role as Karen, the dignified concierge of the Continental Hotel, became an instant fan favorite. He also played a key role in the sci-fi series Fringe, portraying Philip Broyles with a similar commanding presence. What made Reddick unique was his ability to embody authority figures without ever making them one-dimensional. Whether police commander, federal agent, or hotel concierge in a world of assassins, he infused his characters with depth and humanity. Listening to the final moments. There is something deeply unsettling about hearing a 911 call tied to someone you've admired on screen. It strips away the layers of performance and celebrity. What remains is vulnerability. The audio reportedly captures confusion, fear, and the desperate hope that maybe, just maybe, there's still time. For fans, the release of the recording feels like reopening a wound. Some argue that such recordings should remain private, respecting the dignity of the deceased and their loved ones. Others believe transparency provides closure, particularly when rumors circulate online. Regardless of where one stands, the emotional weight of the call is undeniable. The conversation around privacy. The public release of emergency calls involving celebrities has long sparked debate. When tragedy strikes someone in the spotlight, the line between public interest and personal grief often blurs. In Reddick's case, many fans have voiced discomfort at the idea of hearing those final frantic moments. Social media discussions reflect a broader question: should deeply personal audio become public record simply because the person was famous? While laws regarding public records vary by state, the emotional impact remains universal. A man of discipline and devotion. Those who worked closely with Reddick frequently described him as disciplined and deeply committed to his craft. He trained rigorously as a classical musician before fully transitioning into acting, a detail that underscores his artistic range. Off-screen, he was known for being thoughtful, articulate, and quietly humorous. Friends recall that he carried himself much like the characters he portrayed, measured, composed, principled. It's this consistency between man and performance that makes the 911 audio feel even more heartbreaking. The image of a strong, commanding presence suddenly replaced by stillness is difficult to process. Fans revisit his work. Since the resurfacing of the 911 recording, streaming numbers for The Wire have reportedly spiked again. Fans are revisiting favorite episodes, sharing iconic scenes online, and celebrating Reddick's impact. Clips of Daniels delivering firm but fair leadership circulate widely, accompanied by captions like, "Rest in power," and, "Gone too soon." Meanwhile, the John Wick series has taken on a new emotional layer for viewers who now watch Karen with a heavy heart. Hollywood remembers. Beyond fans, the industry continues to honor his legacy. Keanu Reeves once described Reddick as a beautiful human being and special artist. Idris Elba called him an incredible talent taken far too soon. Even years after his passing, tributes resurface whenever his work airs or anniversaries approach. His voice, distinct, resonant, unmistakable, remains etched in viewers' memories. The human side of stardom. The 911 audio serves as a stark reminder. No matter how powerful a performer may appear on screen, real life is fragile. Fame does not shield anyone from sudden health crises. Strength of character does not prevent the unpredictability of the human body. In hearing those final moments, fans are confronted with something sobering. Behind the commanding performances was a husband, a friend, a colleague, a man whose absence is deeply felt. A legacy that endures. While the 911 call may dominate headlines today, it will not define Lance Reddick's story. His legacy is built on years of unforgettable performances, quiet professionalism, and the respect he commanded from peers and audiences alike. Cedric Daniels remains one of television's most compelling portrayals of leadership under fire. Karen remains a symbol of loyalty and dignity in a chaotic cinematic universe. And Lance Reddick remains a performer whose presence elevated every project he touched. Final reflection. Listening to the final call is difficult. It forces us to confront the reality behind the headlines. But perhaps the most meaningful tribute isn't in replaying those final moments. It's in replaying the scenes that made us admire him in the first place. In the end, what lingers isn't the sound of a dispatcher's questions. It's the steady, commanding voice of Lance Reddick, delivering justice in Baltimore, offering sanctuary in the Continental, and reminding us, through art, of the strength found in integrity. His final moments may have been heartbreaking. His legacy, however, remains powerful and enduring.